Sometimes the deer that stick with you the most don't end the way that you want. The story of this deer begins back in 2018 when I got my first trail camera pictures of a very nice looking 2-year-old buck. At that time, I never would have really thought this deer would amount to much, but come 2019, he had blown up. He put on well over 20 inches of antler growth, but I ended up deciding that I was going to hold off on him because I thought that he had some potential to be a big-time shooter the next year. That spring, I set out to try and find this deer's sheds, and I covered a lot of ground and walked all over his bedding areas that he had been using.
I found Marty's shed. Oh my gosh. Yes! Oh, look at that. Almost completely chewed to pieces. And that's from this year. Oh my goodness. That right there, that's the buck I'm going to be hunting this night. Look at how chewed up. That's from this year. Oh, he's got a little acorn right there. I didn't know that. I can't even believe it. It's almost unreal holding his antler. I've like daydreamed about this deer. This is so cool. I wish it looked a little better though, but he's got some serious potential ahead of him.
In 2 years, he would be an absolute stud.
You are so good out in the woods. You are a little woods girl. That's what you are.
I'm guessing this one would have been like 58 inches.
Yeah.
One side.
That's one of my bigger shed finds ever.
That spring, I had some trail cameras spread out in the area that he was living in, and right away I picked him up. So first of all, I was glad that he was alive, but second of all, he was putting on the most antler growth that I had ever seen from a deer in the big woods this early. My anticipation was building, just dreaming about what this deer would end up becoming. Throughout that summer, he put on some tremendous antler growth and ended up having 12 points on him. Once the 2020 bow season started, the hunt was on for Marty.
The countdown is over. Bow season is finally here. Now, I don't know entirely what this season is going to hold for me, but I do feel like I've put myself in a really good position to get a very high quality big woods deer. So I'm going to get going. Let's go hunt.
Well, it's the Wednesday of the first week of season. I got my main shooter, Marty, on camera, and this is the first time I've gotten him on camera since the season has started, so that was exciting. He is looking mighty fine. I'm going to be going out tomorrow for a hunt. The wind is not good for where Marty's at to try to hunt him.
Set up on stand. I don't think I've boogered anything yet. I have never once hunted inside his bedroom like this, partly because it is so hard to hunt this spot. He's got every advantage up here, you know. It's like a giant slashing, so you can't get in close. It's so thick and nasty. skunked.
Some big takeaways that I'm getting from tonight. I think that Marty has transitioned out of this bedding area and that he is moving over towards where a lot of the red oaks are. When I was in this spot last year, there was a ton of acorns dropping, and I think that that's why he was bedding so much in this spot. But now the acorns are not really dropping there. The whole night I maybe heard just a handful of acorns dropping. And the other day, a mile away from this spot, I had acorns raining all around me. That's the last place I've got a picture of them. So it tells me that I gotta start adjusting. I gotta start moving and trying to find where he's at. As Yoda says, you must unlearn what you have learned. Scrapping everything that I know. We're gonna go and just try to figure out where this deer is at. 36 days, and I finally have gotten a picture of Marty. He's alive. First time since September 21st that I have gotten a picture of him, and today is October 27th. So this has been a very long haul with this deer. I've been concerned this entire time that he's dead, and I am just jacked up. And then to make it even more exciting, he showed up at 10:15 this morning on camera, so he is bedded somewhere very close to where I'm going to be going to hunt him tonight. Lordy, please. Please. This will be the biggest buck I've ever seen. Come on, Lord. Oh, I really hope this works out.
Got set up on stand here. I don't think I boogered anything. The wind is, it's iffy. If he beds anywhere along the ridge out straight over this way, chances are he'll have boogered me. But I think that he's bedded up over this direction and the wind is kind of coming right at this direction, right like this. He might only be 100, 105 yards, 110 yards away from me. There is a heaping load of fresh rubs on the path in here. Those were not here the last time I was here, which was last Wednesday. Almost in a week time, there's right on that ridge, there's probably 4 or 5 new rubs. So these bucks are starting to get fired up. I could just about cry. I just drew my bow back. The string just popped right off the dang cam. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I was just drawing it back. I'm getting like in the prime time right now. And he's bedded right here. You gotta be freaking kidding me. Try to get this string back on, but there's no way. There's no freaking way I'm gonna get this thing back on here. My hunt's over tonight. I can't get the dumb string back on. What horrible luck. I've waited 36 days for this deer to show up on camera. And when he finally does, my frickin' string pops off my bow. I need to get out of here so I don't booger him. If he shows tonight in daylight, I'm gonna be royally ticked off. You can't even make this crap up. You know what? Maybe I can use my ratchet system here to get it on.
It's back on. We're back on. We're back in business. Alright. Let's do this. I'm just gonna have to go ground game. Just run in there and set up on the next one of those trees and hide behind it if I can get. I'm gonna have to check my cell cam, see if he isn't there still. It's 5:30. I can maybe get out there for just a couple minutes. Alright, nothing has shown on trail camera yet, so I'm gonna sneak back in. There's deer on trail camera right now. The deer are right down there. I'm just trying to sneak in as close as I can get so that I have a shot opportunity. That's the tree I was in. It might not look like it in the video, but when I stand up, there's a perfect opening. Those does are still right there, 34 yards. They have no idea I'm here. And the wind is helping. There's a lot of movement. If I would have tried to sneak up on them in this crunchy snow and not have any wind cover, I probably wouldn't have pulled it off. Talk about a weird hunt. Never had that happen before. Oh crap, it's coming towards me. And I'm right in the trail. Oh, good. Go that way, yep. There we go. He's a no-show. Look, that doe, she kind of boogied. So I thought, oh man, here he comes. She boogied out like the last minute of shooting light. I'm still gonna try to be stealthy to get out of here. Once I got home, I checked to see if my bow was shooting properly. Come to find out, my peep sight had twisted, and I would not have been able to pull off a shot had he stepped out. As soon as this deer had shown up, he disappeared. I was back on the chase, trying to figure out where he was at. So I did some hanging hunts and kept bouncing cameras. After searching for just over a week, I ended up finding him. I found rubs that were huge, tine marks poked up to chin height. It was clearly Marty. During all this time, I was fighting off the Rona, so I was able to hunt more than I ever have. I dedicated my rut hunt strictly to this deer. It seemed like no matter how hard I would try, I couldn't get close to this deer. I couldn't get any visuals on him. He was pushing me to the limits. Eventually, I just resorted to following the does in the area and making sure that when one of them went into heat that I would be in the woods. But even still, despite all of that, I never once got a daylight trail camera picture of Marty, and I never once saw him. As you can imagine, I was getting really frustrated. The closer that we got to rifle season, hunter activity in this area started to ramp up. The agony of defeat was starting to set in. I let my frustration get the best of me, and I stormed out of the woods a half hour early on one of my final hunts. 3 days later, Marty was killed by another hunter on opening day of rifle season. I replayed the hunt of this deer over and over in my mind, trying to figure out what did I do wrong. But in the midst of that, God had some really important things for me to learn. The first thing is to not be jealous of another man's success. As much as I wanted that deer, Jealousy will not put him on my wall. Nothing good comes out of jealousy. It will destroy a person, and it will destroy relationships. The second thing I learned is that I let this deer become too much to me. I spent so much energy focusing on trying to kill this deer that I became impatient and stopped enjoying the hunt. It's interesting how the things that we love the most can so often turn negative quickly. And that's what happened to me. And God had to shake me of that. Sometimes it takes losing a good opportunity to really learn what is most important in life. My goal was to hunt down and kill a big buck, but God had other plans. He wanted to develop my character and make sure that He was number one priority in my life. So in the end, what I gained was much more than a deer.